I can hear myself.
Oh, it's the pot. And now I can only hear myself in my left ear.
Oh, yeah. I came to my left ear, too.
Ooh.
Oh, you fixed it. Now you can't move.
Okay, that's the headphone send. I don't think that has anything
Christina's fixing stuff with her magic.
It doesn't have anything to do with what people are hearing out in the world.
I know. Sorry, you guys don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's our own feedback in our own headphones and microphones that it's all messed up here.
It's this device going from this to this device.
You guys got it lucky.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to relax
Probably
now.
don't have a wasp either.
Why don't we try to figure out who our sponsors are? We'll just start with, thanking sponsors. Let's just get on a really great, efficient track of super high efficiency today.
So down with that.
Okay, I'm going to look up the new sponsors while you can...
I can thank the old ones.
Thank the old ones, and I'll just quickly look up the new ones.
It's like that little song, Make New Friends, but keep the old.
Yeah, I love
One
that.
is silver, but the other is gold.
I sang that Girl Scout camp.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. And we sang it all the time.
We sang it all the time, too, but not at Girl Scout camp, just maybe 4-H. I don't remember.
It worked. You know, if it was subliminal messaging, it worked on me. So,
what counts as old and new friends, though? Like, do you have to compare it to your entire life? Like, I feel like you and I are old friends, but technically, for our very long lives, we're technically new. So what counts?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Don't stress out about it. Just
I'm
enjoy.
just saying, do you want to be silver or do you want to be gold? Which do you want?
I like gold.
All right. Okay, you can be the old friend.
But my dentist doesn't even offer me the option to have a gold tooth. Why is that?
I think that they are poison. I think they're poison now.
What?
Or we know that they're poison now.
What are the gold ones?
Yeah.
Or the plastic ones?
All the things that are sparkly that go in your mouth, I think, are not good anymore. Because they're made of, some sort of toxic metal.
Boy, you just can't stay on top enough about this stuff.
I mean, I don't really know. I still see it. I still see it in little kids' mouths, too. So.
You can't trust science that's profit-driven, so research that's done by...
I'm sorry. The wasp.
You're going to make me forget
I'm sorry,
what I was gonna say.
The wasp fell from his place, and now he's under the table somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
I know you're not, but I know he's coming.
But he's near me, so I don't care.
He might not be near you. Oh, I see him. He's back. He's coming. He's climbing back up. I'm sorry. I have a real phobia because...
Okay, what was I saying?
Hey, if you woke up in the middle of the night and they had fallen from light fixtures and were just stinging you all over your lip, wouldn't you be sad? And that's happened many times.
Speaking of lips... I was at the dentist.
Yes.
So what it is that you have to decide for yourself if stuff is toxic. So what I decided is that this little piece of plastic in my mouth, it might, when it comes into contact with something hot, maybe it releases some kind of a toxin, but it's such a small amount that I'm not going to worry about it because I really want the tooth. I really do. I really want it. So
I don't understand because, are you talking about your missing tooth that you want a new one?
No, this is a different one. This is one that cracked a couple months ago. And so they had to...
As for your missing tooth, I just say screw it. Nobody can even see it. It's so far back in your mouth.
But it stops me from smiling fully.
But you can't even see it when you smile fully.
No, because I don't smile fully anymore.
Okay, smile as fully as you can.
No, I don't want you to see it.
I don't care. I've seen it. You've showed it to me 100 times.
Yeah, but that's different than actually smiling and seeing an old...
It doesn't...
If somebody smiles like an old lady smiles and she has a big gaping tooth missing...
You people aren't... Just count Christina off as nuts because it's like one of the teeth far back in her mouth and you can't see it. You can't see it at all. 1,
2, 3. It's fourth back from the... If you start counting from the big front tooth, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's fifth. If you count
it's
the first
so back
tooth.
far in your mouth. That's like the mouth cave where nothing goes and
Emily,
the sunlight never shines.
Emily, I have a huge smile.
Okay, Linda Evangelista.
It's huge. It's really huge. But I just want to tell you about my dentist appointment. Okay. So they stabbed me and they stabbed me so many times. I couldn't believe how many times they stabbed me.
With the little Novocaine needle?
It's a big needle. It's not.
Did they at least massage your gums while they were doing it? Because my dentist, I actually kind of liked it when he did the Novocaine because he used his fingers and he gave me a gum massage, and I really enjoyed that.
He's good. He kind of taps it. to distract you a little bit, but he just keeps jabbing it in further and further. But the good thing is that it didn't hurt at all. So he effectively numbed like my whole side of my face
Well,
up
clearly the stabbing didn't feel very nice.
It went up to my ear.
Oh, dear.
My ear was numb.
What about your brain?
I don't know about probably.
What about your eye?
Probably part of my eye was included, but certainly my ear canal. Like I stuck my finger in my ear and I couldn't feel it.
That's a little creepy. I
For-
think Dennis maybe should leave all those other body parts alone.
It was for the back farthest one.
My God.
I guess that's called a molar. So they ground it all down and then they put the nice fake temporary crown on it.
Wow.
So it was quite an ordeal. It took 2 hours. I didn't realize, they didn't tell me it was going to take 2 hours. I thought in and out. And then it became this. So, but the good news, again, like there's always good news and there's always silver linings to things, is that when I finally they let me sit up and it was ready, and they were releasing me and they said I could go.
Yeah.
It's like having been in prison and you don't know what to do. You don't, like, your body doesn't work. Like I'm supposed to stand up and I'm supposed to leave here. And so I looked at them and I felt this rush of gratitude and love. Like I could have just kissed them.
Did they drug you otherwise?
No drugs, just Novocaine. And so I felt this, it was a good feeling to love my dentist and his assistant. So I think her name was Carolyn or Caroline, and I would have said thank you, Caroline or Carolyn, but I didn't know which one it was, so I just said generic.
Can you just fake an accent so you could kind of cover either name version?
I had
like
heard,
you, Caroline. Like they wouldn't.
It was just because I was traumatized, so I couldn't remember if it was. But I can't anyway. I can't remember Caroline from Carolyn, except where my kids have forced me to, because they had friends like Caroline. I know.
Okay. Are these names spelled the same?
Yes, that's very confusing. Okay, back to the sponsors.
Oh yeah. I will thank the ones that we already have, as I was going to 10 minutes ago.
Yep.
But I forgot.
Okay, I got the other ones.
We thank Mountain Folk, Tunbridge Grease Collective, and Howville Farms for their very fine sponsorship of this show. And who are our new sponsors?
And the new sponsors are Rivendell, Rivendell Restorative Painting. Can you say that better than me?
Rivendell Restorative Painting. Is that just Todd again?
Rivendell Restorative.
Todd's a painter.
Painting.
Todd is a house painter.
Oh, maybe that's Todd.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
This is getting embarrassing. Todd has like 6 businesses because he's a Vermonter and we all wear a lot of hats. And all of his businesses are now sponsoring us? That's so embarrassing.
Like me. I should sponsor all my businesses to sponsor our show, too.
I have a
as
lot,
it doesn't
too.
involve money. I could, trade my doing the show for sponsorship.
That's true. Okay, what's the other one?
Okay,
the other one was not Todd, I believe.
This is an official business. Like, this is a real thing.
I think the other ones are, too, but they all just do come from Todd, maybe.
Yeah, but this is more like, I don't think these people know us. Like, we know all the other sponsors personally, but do you know the 5 Old Tavern and Grill people? Wow. I don't.
Yeah, I do know them, but not like real personally.
They must have asked us, or asked those people if it was okay, right? Because they have to be associated with the show now, which might embarrass them.
Oh, we'll have to be on our best behavior for a few minutes. I really like their logo of the little that like woodchuck thing.
What they have a logo? I never noticed.
Yeah,
that.
It's like a little woodchuck wearing a top hat.
Where's that?
Oh, it's on their like menus and their websites and things like that.
Yeah,
it's a little woodchuck. He's like a little tap dancing like looking woodchuck.
Does he have a top hat?
Yes, he has a top hat, and I think he might have a cane. He's like all gussied up. It's like a woodchuck who's all gussied up for Night on the Town.
Wow, and that is like the fancy place.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't get much fancier than that in South Royalton.
Yep.
So that's cool. So here's what I'm hoping.
Okay, what?
I'm really hoping that if we stay away from home as much as we can today.
That's my plan. I can't get there anyway.
Because by the time we come back, maybe they will have put stone down in the mud pits on the road.
Maybe, but that's also a risk because, so a couple days ago, John was coming home from working on a storyboard for a commercial, and the road where he had to go had just been gravelled because it was super muddy. And it was that huge, the fist-sized sharp gravel.
Yeah.
But whatever, he got home, and then we went to leave again, and the car was making an awful weird noise down our driveway, and I said, why does the car sound like this? I said, something's wrong, and John said, no, it's probably just mud in the tire. And so we went down a driveway some more, and it was like horrible. And so I said, no, there's something wrong, and I looked out my window, and the tire was just like flopping off the rim, like in the mud, because it got slashed up on some of that really sharp gravel.
I know.
And then tried to change a tire on a back road that's like knee deep in mud. Like you can't put your jack down because it just squishes into the mud. And so whatever, we left the car in our neighbor's driveway and we got a ride back to our house and we took a different car and then we left it overnight and we came the next day. And do you also know that those jacks that they send, they pack in your car, like they're prepackaged?
They're too small.
They're too small, and when you put them under your car and try to lift your car up, they like just bend and they break.
Yeah.
Like they can't even support a car. Like I don't understand.
Well, they probably could.
We had to go get like a house jack to do it.
If it was pavement, they probably could deal with it.
Maybe,
it's just
but
we have irregular ground.
It's
like
really
we have
kind
a
of
lot
scary.
of irregular ground in Vermont. That's what Vermont's actually known for, having irregular ground.
Yes.
So
then you put the spare tire on, right? And the spare tire are those teeny little ridiculous donut tires.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so try to get down a dirt road in mud season with one of those on. That is not.
I know.
That's not
This
good.
is just not a great time, and I had to cancel a recording session because we just not my clients and these folks that are going to come and have their wedding.
Yeah.
And they wanted to come up this weekend just to kind of scope things out.
Oh, they're gonna.
They said, do you have a room free on Friday night, which is tonight? And I got back to them. I said, well, yes, but you're going to need 4-wheel drive or SUV or a truck or something. I haven't heard back from them.
Yeah, we have a wedding couple that was supposed to come up this weekend too, and I don't think they're from the city. I don't think they can do it.
I know.
But
I mean, you can probably rent like a Hummer.
or a helicopter.
Yeah,
something.
get coptered in for the weekend. But I'm just hopefully just stay home this weekend. If I get back, I hope I can get back today.
Yeah, I got my knee-high mud boots on in case there is lots of walking involved today. But we had the foresight last night because we knew we weren't going to get up our road with John's Honda Civic because Civics just weren't made for back roads in Vermont. So we took the Subaru up and we left the Civic down in town, and it's just going to live downtown for I think a week or two.
That's smart. Because
otherwise it's just going to be trapped at our house. And if we need 2 cars at any point, which we often do because we always go in different directions, then we got to have it someplace down on the pavement.
Oh, gosh. It's just, haha.
My hair is not greasy, by the way, in case you think that it is. It's freshly washed, but see, I'm trying to put coconut oil in it and see if it will healthy it up. But instead of healthying it up, it just makes it look like I have like greasy hair.
Oh, I should try that. I like the greasy hair look.
Well, then
it looks
you should
good
try
for
this.
rock and roll.
That's true, but I'm not a rock and roll person. I just look like a person who has greasy hair.
Yeah, I should probably do dreads, but I just can't
No.
quite.
No.
But then I wouldn't have to think about it. It's just they'd be this big mat on my head.
It's not, they don't feel good. And don't you like to really itch your head sometimes?
You can itch.
Not really. It's like when you have your hair in a tight hairstyle and you can't like itch satisfactorily.
I don't know. You don't know. You never had dreads.
I know, but I have close friends with them, and it's not fun to dance next to them because they spin around and whack you in the face with them.
Well, that's because his dreads go down to his butt.
Yeah, and he has little beads in them.
I don't think I could get my dreads that far down.
But I think if you sawed one open, there's probably some really creepy stuff in the center.
That's kind of
I would really assume.
Scary. But my friend Adriana had them for a while.
I dated a guy with dreads in high school, but his weren't like homemade dreads. He had like salon set New York City dreads.
You wash them. You don't just leave them like a rat's nest. You wash your hair. You wash your head. You wash your felted
But
head.
you know when something stays wet for a long time, like a dog?
Yeah.
There's just going to be a accompanying odor.
Problem.
I've never noticed at all any odor of my friend who has dreads, but
speaking of which, I just wish I could have some leather pants again.
I have some, but I haven't tried them on for a long time. They're probably too tight.
I just want the right kind of leather pants. I don't want tight. No, I don't want tight leather pants. I just want dark brown vegetarian leather pants.
Oh. Well. What if it's reclaimed from an animal who died of old age?
I'm fine because I like the protection. The idea of leather actually doesn't turn me off if it's harvested correctly. That's kind of a dumb term. I don't really like harvesting animals.
What about, I mean, if an animal has lived out its life,
that's fine.
Don't
I'll
you
take
want
that skin
don't you want all of its parts to be used and go on in some other form?
in a nice way? So
Yeah.
I'll have these pants. I'll have these dark brown leather pants.
Maybe you should raise a cow until it dies of old age.
I just
and then
want-
you can have your own
Well, okay.
leather pants made out of your special cow.
I don't know. I don't want to know the cow. I just want it to have been a nice cow with a nice life that I didn't know.
Okay.
Because
well,
I want the pants that you don't have to change ever. Because my brother, he's got leather pants. I don't think he ever takes them off, like even at night. He probably sleeps in them. I just like the concept as a concept, not having to fuss and muss too much.
my leather pants were super fuss and muss worthy because they were dark chocolate brown, but if you got any water on them, they would be a black spot.
Yeah, but you're supposed to just go with that.
Oh, I didn't. I was trying to keep them like perfect, so I was a little upset because I had one splash of black down one leg, and then I was terrified.
No, that's not what boys do. They just get them dirtier until
Well,
they're
I'm
one
not
like big.
a boy.
But I'm just saying, there's a certain practicality to not worrying so much about your leather pants because they were on an animal at one time. Now, you think that animal was
why
worried
is leather so hard to clean when
because you're
cows
not
are
supposed
filthy?
to clean it. You're not supposed to clean it. You're just supposed to let it get dirty, just
Right,
like the
but you can
animals
wash
do.
a cow. You can wash any animal.
But you don't. A cow doesn't wash itself. You may wash a cow. I don't personally. Why are we talking about this?
I'm just saying, okay, like you take your cow and you can wash it and soap it and you can do all kinds of stuff to it.
No, I don't want to.
I'm not saying that you have to.
Don't make me.
I'm just saying in theory it's perfectly
not.
fine to do that and nothing changes or happens
It
except
does
for it gets
change.
clean.
No, it does not. It just gets.
You don't know. You don't wash cows. You just said that you don't want to wash cows.
You're talking about altering something beyond what it was meant to be altered.
No, a cow sometimes goes in the water itself and it doesn't come out and shrink or
It
anything.
doesn't go swimming to wash. It
And
goes
then-
because it feels good and it's like communing
Okay,
with
I don't
nature.
care whatever reason that it gets all wet.
Look, I'll take my pants in the rain and I'll get them all wet because I like communing with nature,
right,
but I will
then they're going to
not.
shrink and be ruined,
No,
and
they
that doesn't
won't.
happen
You're
to a cow.
exaggerating the problem of leather pants. You've made it way more complicated. You
I
just
don't
put them
know.
on and you don't take them off for 10 years.
Okay, Mick Jagger.
I'm going to try. I'm going to see.
All right.
But it has to be the right pair. I mean, it might take me another 10 years to actually locate the proper
Well,
pair.
maybe I'll start wearing mine again if I can get them buttoned. I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't put them on in a
Well,
long time.
The question is also like fringe or no fringe.
Mine have no fringe.
I kind of like the cowboy motif a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
me
it
too.
harkens back to the kindergarten circus that I was in.
There's a circus in Sharon Academy this weekend. They're gonna have like stilts and unicycles and things. You
No,
could
we had it. We
you
had
could
it.
like make a cameo. You could put on your leather pants and jump in and
No, see, the circuses in kindergarten used to be kind of like way simpler. You didn't have to have a lot of like stuff, and you didn't have to do tricks. You just kind of showed up with a cowboy hat on and a stick horse, and then you were in the circus. You didn't have
yeah.
to.
We used to do them in our backyard too with a tent, but I was an elephant, and that meant I had some sort of gray pantyhose on my face.
on your head. Oh,
Yeah,
you know.
like I had twisted the legs of the pantyhose together and stuffed them with like some toilet paper, and then pulled the pantyhose over my face so it was like a trunk.
Wow.
And then I think my little sister rode on my back in a little sparkly
For how long?
leotard.
That doesn't sound like something you can really sustain for longer than like 5 seconds.
Um,
You're suffocating. Your sister's on top of
yeah,
you.
suffocating. It's pantyhose. People rob stores wearing pantyhose all the time, and they continue to breathe throughout the robbery. So I think it's
Not
probably
with toilet paper stuffed up one
no.
end.
It wasn't stuffed all the way up to my face. My God, you just don't have any imagination, I guess.
I'm glad. I'm not glad I don't have to think about that.
Although I think that the theme of our circus was ruined by our little neighbor boy who wanted to dance to MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit or something the whole time. And we were like, that's not circusy, but he just wanted to do that.
That's kind of a pop culture reference that I don't get.
Yeah,
But
don't
that's
worry
all
about
right.
it.
Someone
it's good.
will
It's
check
fine
in
that you
with
don't
me
get
and
that.
let me know. Anyway, it's time for a song.
Okay.
we're going to play Ariel Zevon's My Fickle Heart.
Oh, good.
So, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
You can play with fire if you wanna get burned. You stepped out of line, boy, it wasn't even your turn. Drawn into the mirage of love, though your conscience tries to rise above. You wouldn't heed my prophecy, not self-fulfilled, no apology. You say you know me better, but I've been my own jailer, and you ain't the hero to set me free, 'cause I bury the key to my fickle heart. Flips on a dime. Fickle heart, don't waste no time. Fickle heart keeps me apart. Fickle heart will tear yours apart. Fly into the web and you're gonna get caught. The harder you fight, the nastier the knot. Lured into the siren's trap, fall too deep into the ocean's lap. I warned you to run, then you just wouldn't listen. You say I can do better, but I ain't your contender, and I ain't the hero to set you free, 'cause I bury the key to my fickle heart. Flips on a dime. Fickle heart wastes no time. Fickle heart keeps me apart. Fickle heart will tear yours apart. Chest to chest, hearts beating like lyres. Your trembling breath reveals your desires. Hungry for more than I got, you can scrape the bottom of my empty pot. I told you I'm the wrong tree. Bark all you want of me, you'll never know me better. It's all sealed in the letter that you ain't the hero to set me free, 'cause I bury the key.
Wow, now that's a cool ending.
It is.
So that was my Fickle Heart, Ariel Zevon with Patrick Ross on fiddle, Pappy Biondo on banjo, and
That's a
Val.
real name.
Pappy, Patrick. Oh. So there's 2 Patricks, but we call him Pappy. And Val McCallum on guitar.
I've got a bunch more clothes to send to Patrick Ross. Well, not to Patrick Ross. To Patrick Ross's daughter.
Yeah,
Baby.
well, you should do it.
I need to. There's always a little
'Cause
Ophelia
she's-
pile somewhere in our house where I'm just like, gathering dust someplace.
Yeah, she's
little kitty clothes.
getting big too.
I know.
So, you know.
Well, she is taking lots of dance and doing things like that, and I have tons of things like that for her, and I just have to send them, and I
Well,
get
that
to it
sounds
every
like
few
fun.
months, maybe.
That sounds like fun.
Yes.
Oh man.
Christina tried to find the wasp while we were on a music break, but it just disappeared, which means it's coming. It's coming for me.
Yeah, I offered to catch it because I'm really good at catching hornets and wasps and stuff. Well, mostly hornets. Anything
And that's
that's
what this is.
slow moving. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't catch the fast ones when they're mad. But anything slow moving, yeah, I can do it.
Well, I don't know where it is,
So
but
I-
it'll probably pop up in my sweatshirt at some point soon here.
I wanted to tell you about this guy whose name is a fruit. So, you know, I'm not going to say anything more because I don't really want to identify him, but his name is a fruit. So keep that in mind.
Okay, I'm picturing papaya or
Okay, sure.
mango.
Yeah. And so years ago, he wrote me a letter and asked me if I would play a benefit up for his whatever, play a benefit. And it was just at that point when my voice was starting to get kind of iffy. And I thought about it. I seriously gave it a thought, and I finally said, no, I can't do it. I just don't feel confident about performing. So I could tell he was kind of didn't quite believe me. Thought I was just being I don't know what, not properly, what do you call it, giving back to the community.
Okay.
So I got through that, but then I remember when Green Energy Times did that article on me. No, on the studio, because I have an off-grid studio, so they did an article. And this guy, whose last name is a fruit, he wrote in complaining that I had said that I was from Chelsea, when actually I'm from Washington. And so Green Energy Times got in touch with me and said, we got this hate mail, basically, where this guy is tearing you down and saying, tearing down your character and saying what an awful person you are. And we don't usually get letters like this. We just want to let you know. And I don't think that they published it. I just can't remember. They just want to let me know that this guy whose name is a fruit had written this. And so the conclusion of the story is that a couple days ago, after that article ran on me in 7 days, I get a letter from the same guy whose name is a fruit asking me basically, hey, would you come do a benefit for the
Oh my God.
for this church? And so I thought about it for a couple days, and I just very politely wrote back and I said, I think you contacted me 15 years ago with the same request, and I'm going to give you the same answer I gave to you 15 years ago, which is, and actually if he'd read the article, he would have understood that I'm, struggling with a vocal issue. So I just, write him a nice little note and gave him some other names. Isn't that funny? People are sort of clueless. It's really interesting.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah, so sending out a big love to the guy whose name is a fruit.
Yeah, people often get very angry at other people for the most ridiculous things. I find I've only unfriended one person on Facebook in all of my days, and that was just because he was just the most annoying, caustic.
Only one?
Only one ever
Are you kidding?
in the
That's
10
amazing.
years or however long Facebook has been around. And this is the only person I've ever unfriended.
How about blocked?
Nope, never done anything.
No blockages?
Nope.
Ooh, I had to block.
And this person just drove me bonkers with his just insane, ignorant mansplain of every thing ever. And he really is stupid. So you couldn't post a dang thing without him telling you really how it was.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I just got so sick of it one day.
Yes.
The rudeness that he was spewing that I blocked just this one person. But anyway, lots of people have unfriended me because just, whatever. If I say something that doesn't make them happy, they unfriend me in a little fit. And then later, when they cool off, they try to friend me again, which I think is really funny. And usually, once somebody's unfriended me, I don't accept their friend request a second time, because it's just stupid. This stupid game. If they're gonna get in a snit about things, then they just might as well not friend me, because that's just. But then they get angry with me that I have not friended them.
Is your profile public?
No.
Mine is.
It's. I mean, it's partially public. I mean, it's each post is modified for.
I just
depending on what it is.
Everything I put up, it's all public, so it doesn't really matter if you're my friend or not. You can see.
Right. A lot of my stuff is public, so it doesn't matter. But if it's something personal or something about my kids, I usually make it friends only.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Just because.
I get it.
But I just think it's really funny that these people will angrily unfriend me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then be furious with me for not friending them back when they decide that they are over their little snit.
Yeah.
Very silly.
And do they follow you on Instagram? What's that all about?
I just made that profile private recently so that I have to accept people.
I have I'm very reluctant about using Instagram. I think it's kind of fun, but it's just like too much time. I don't know how I can do Facebook and Instagram.
I just don't like that it's just pictures. Like I like Facebook because I can write.
Exactly. I think the writers are not as into Instagram, but I've got all these people are Instagramming me, and I just feel bad because I'm not Instagramming people back. I'm not friending people back because I know, like, if I keep maybe 10 people that I follow on Instagram, then I could possibly occasionally look at it. But if I just put everybody, I'll never look at it.
Well, it scrolls faster. It scrolls faster than Facebook because you just wing your thumb and you see the pictures fly by.
Yeah, but tell me, they fly by, but the attention that it takes to notice them while they're flying by, like every single picture that flies by, you're going to put your attention on and try to analyze in some cursory way. I just don't know what's the point of it.
I don't use that.
It's just it's owned by Facebook, so it just seems like it's another profit center. It's just another place for them to run their ads and make money. So why people?
There really aren't ads, though. I don't see any ads.
I do. I see sponsored content. Don't you? That's
maybe.
an ad. It's
I
something
guess
that's
so.
not from a friend. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's so bogus. People.
We didn't
bogus.
We didn't introduce our show, did we?
Oh, but we said, our sponsors. That was more important than saying what the show was. Saying what sponsors were.
And I said that you're Christina and I'm Emily at one point, I think. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
I'm happy for you to say what the show is. I don't have any a problem with that, basically.
Okay. It's 11th Hour Radio. Broadcasting live and not live from Royalton Community Radio, WFVR LP 96.5. We have podcasts all over the web. You can find us on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us at our website at 11thhourradio.com. What else? We're getting to the point where we have to say a lot of stuff, and so I think that's why we avoid it. Yeah. Not that we don't say a lot of stuff during our show, but we have to say a bunch of official stuff.
Right. Official stuff.
Which we generally dig in our heels about.
Whereas what we really like to do is talk about ordinary things that become extraordinary between friends.
Like the creamy machine is back running.
That picture of you eating a creamy, I was so jealous. I thought, how did you get the first creamy?
I didn't get the first creamy. Actually, I saw that a friend of mine who lives right next door to Will's probably got the first creamy. She posted it on Facebook a few hours before that.
Oh, that gave you the
And I freaked out. I said, John, the creamy machine is open.
Okay.
And he kind of had been trying to talk me into going. Yeah. He had to do a film talk up in Marshfield last night, and I didn't really want to go. But he said, we can go by Will's and get a creamy. So,
a little enticement.
Little bribery.
I see.
Yep. So I got my creamy.
That's great.
Although right now, people, they have only maple and vanilla in the creamy machine. So,
well, what more could you want?
Well, I don't like maple, so I always get vanilla.
You got vanilla, so you'd like some choice, but okay, that's understandable.
But they switch it up all summer long. Usually, for the better part of the summer, it's vanilla and chocolate. But they switch the chocolate out sometimes with maple or with black raspberry, which is my favorite. I love a good old vanilla and black raspberry twist.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, I don't have much to say about
I can see
ice
the wasp
cream.
now.
I
He's
just-
back. I'm just telling you.
He looks like he's behind the window,
Maybe it's a new one.
isn't he? On the screen, he might
I
be
can't
actually.
tell which way he's facing.
He might be able to get out.
No, he's
Yes,
not.
he is.
He is not.
Yes, he is. He's going to get out by his self. So, I just want to say that when your kids get to be in their 20s and they're having birthdays, you're going to probably really fail at giving them, like properly appreciating
But
their
we could sing
birthdays.
"Happy Birthday" to Anna on the
No,
radio. No,
I
she
don't
wouldn't
want
probably
to.
like that.
I mean, Wilder's birthday was the first one. That was on the 27th
Yeah.
because all
You
my
got-
kids are born within 3 weeks of each other. So we
I
just,
totally beat you because all my kids are born on the exact same day.
yeah, well, I got 3.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm really competitive about that.
I know. I didn't realize you were. But I kind of feel like I was very half-assed about birthdays, about this birthday. I didn't mean to be.
Well, they are
So
adults.
what happens if you're half-assed about your kids' birthdays when they're in their 20s? Then it kind of drags it out because here's what happens. So I go to the party. There's a party, and I went all the way to Lincoln, and I spent the night. I went to the family party. Now that I felt good about that, and I had a good time, and that was good. But that's not really a personal thing. Just showing up at a party that somebody else is throwing, bringing nothing. Although the next morning I did go to the Bristol Bakery and I got some goodies and I brought them back and shared them with everybody. So that was,
That's
that
pretty
was
good.
really generous of me.
Yes.
And so then the other thing that I did was the day that it was his birthday, which was the 27th, I was working on a song. I was working really hard on this song that's called, it has a working title of Waging Peace, right? Waging Peace with the Stones.
You put some really cute pictures of him up on Facebook.
Yes, well, that's the third thing. But the second one was working on this song. And then I decided I felt very connected with him in the content of the song, which was about waging peace. And so I sent it to him that night. Like I got to a point where the song was like really coming together and I had added a bunch of parts. And so I sent him an MP3 and I felt, well, this is kind of a birthday present. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of. I was doing it anyway, but it's kind of a present. And,
Yeah.
I told him I, dedicated it to him and his mission of, and his path of peace. So I did that. And then, like you said, I did the Facebook post with pictures of him, and then all these people, like over 100 people, ended up liking it. But
They
did
were
you notice,
wicked cute.
yeah, but he hasn't even seen it because he doesn't really use Facebook that much. So it's like
Oh.
all this activity on
Well,
his
it's okay. It'll
pictures.
be delayed pleasure.
Well, he'll maybe eventually see it, so that's kind of cool. But it still feels like, well, his birthday came and went, and there was all this activity about his photographs, and he didn't see it. And then the fourth thing is that I did never get around to ordering the 2 books that I wanted to order for him. I was going to order him the book on the history of the CIA. I didn't get to ordering that yet.
That
And then I was
sounds horrible.
well,
Why
then I was going to order him this book sort of to balance it out. This book on this channeled material from the Pleiadians, right? So that's good with the
Sounds a little better.
CIA book, and then the channeled information about spiritual matters. I probably should have just gotten him a cactus though, because I know he loves cactus. Like that's a sure.
They have a very nice cactus selection at Welch's right now.
Do they?
Yep.
Are you serious?
And succulents too.
They have cactus?
I believe so.
I thought I was going to have to drive like halfway across the
They
world
have-
to find cactuses.
You know how Welch's used to have like a little miniature Radio Shack in it?
Yes, in the
They've
back.
taken that out and now it's just cactuses.
No.
Kinda.
You're kind of making that
it's
up.
it's
I can't-
garden. It's a garden space now. It's all just, but it's new garden stuff. It's stuff that they
when
never
did
had
this
before.
happen? I don't even
I
know.
don't- just a while
like,
ago.
I went there maybe a month ago.
They have moss, like
They have
sheet moss. You can buy sheet
buy
moss.
moss?
It's like preserved sheet moss. You can buy orchids.
Wait, what kind of moss?
It's already
Sheep?
sheet. It's like
Sheet
dried, so you can put it in
moss?
your plants.
Sheet moss. I've never heard of that. I know.
You
it's
know how
like,
moss peels up off of rocks in big sheets?
yeah, but you don't sell that stuff.
well, they do at Welch's.
They do not.
Yes, they dang do.
You're just making up stuff.
I'm not. I just pulled a bag off the shelf a
Yeah, I'm
couple
gonna
days ago
sell
and
some
contemplated
dirt.
it, but I said, I wonder as after you water it if the color bleeds out of it because it's preserved and probably died. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
like going to scrape up
But they do have
stuff.
cactuses. They have cactuses and they have cats running free there now, so
Yeah, I
you
have
can
a lot
pet
of
them.
dried cat throw up. I'm going to scrape that up and I'm going to sell that at Welch's.
They don't sell cat throw up.
It comes up real nice if you
God.
let it dry. You just use
A spatula.
yeah, you just
John used a
Think people
spatula
would
to
buy
get
that?
something off the floor the other day. And I was like, you're kind of not okay with him doing that because I
know,
said,
yeah.
you either have one spatula that stays for that purpose. I don't care how many times you scrub it and put it in bleach and put it in vinegar or whatever. I don't want to ever see that spatula back in my kitchen. It's just definitely not my kitchen because John mostly does all the cooking.
So it touched the floor. What else did it touch?
It touched the animal excrement that was on the floor.
I see. And you don't think that washes off with just plain soap and water?
I'm sure it does, but I just still don't want to flip my pancakes with it. It's just a visual
Okay, I get it.
thing
I gotcha.
at this point.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I getcha all the way.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, it's time for another song because we're just
Okay.
like talking about nothing ad nauseum. So here we go. We've got a great song by Carl Goulet called Jesus, Me and Whiskey. Here we go.
Jesus, me and whiskey is a ride I take alone. I like going places up to now unknown. This guy always shows up on the darkest days. Got so that I don't care if he goes or stays. Barely ever said a word, mostly we just stared. Think he only hung around for that bottle that we shared. Hey, you that guy that saved the world, that what you're here to do? Done that, I still have the marks, the rest is up to you. Find whatever, I don't care, we all have a reason. In the battle for my soul, I've committed treason. Barely ever said a word, mostly he just stared. Think he only hung around to see if someone cared. Pass a bottle, pass a joint, pass a passing thought. Pass on asking any of the questions that I've got. Why bother fixing anything so hopelessly broke? He had a sense of humor, but I didn't get the joke. Barely ever said a word, mostly we just stared. I think he only hung around to see who else had dared. Can't play guitar for shit, but sure can hold his liquor. Been drunk under the table, but no one's done it quicker. I wake up from the nightmare and I'm hoping to see glory. Got another hill to climb and I see he's up before me. Barely ever said a word, mostly he just stared. I think he only hung around to see who could be spared. Barely ever said a word, mostly he just stared. I think he only hung around to see who could be spared. I think he only hung around to see who could be spared.
Carl Goulet, who's from Windsor.
Is that spelled Carl Goulet?
Yes, it is.
He must be French Canadian.
Could be. Kind of looks like he could be.
Oh, we had to go to Walmart this week, and there's so many things said about people who go to Walmart. But I gotta say, we were walking around there, and it was because I was trying to find a baseball cap. I was trying to find a baseball cap for one of my kids that I couldn't find anywhere else. And John said, I bet you they have it at Walmart. So we had to go to Walmart. And I turned around at one point, and there was just a guy with no shoes on, just in his socks, just kind of walking through the store. Mm-hmm. And then there were two ladies having like a screaming fight at each other in some other language, like in the underwear section. Oh. There was a lot of odd weirdness and drama going on in Walmart.
Yeah,
And I kind of thought people just make that up. I kind of, whenever there's like the people of Walmart memes and stuff that go around on Facebook, and I thought that we're all just being jerks. But you know what? There's some weird stuff that goes down in that place.
It's kind of the cheapest place to shop.
I think it's the chemical smell inside of there. It's affecting your brain when you go in, and so then you just kind of flip out and take off your shoes or start fighting with some lady in the underwear section. Like, what were they?
Well, it'd be easy to get lost in there if you did not have all your faculties for whatever reasons. And so that's why I don't go there. I don't want to get lost. I got lost in the Hunger Mountain Co-op the other day. It was really kind of freaky.
I always get lost in there, and you always make fun of me.
No, but what happened, I shouldn't get lost there. But I ran into somebody, and you know how much I hate running into people.
Yes, then you're all disoriented and
yeah, but I sort of got through the exchange, and then I decided to kind of run away to the other side of the store. So I just left my cart, and I headed out as if on an expedition, and I crossed the store gingerly just to get as far away as I could.
And then you couldn't get back to your cart?
I couldn't remember where I left it.
Maybe someone took it.
Well, no, I did eventually reunite
Are you
with
one
my
of those people who
groceries.
just leaves your cart places and goes and gets things? Because John is, and
Yes.
I'm anti-leaving the cart.
No, I leave the cart. I don't leave my money in it.
No,
I just leave
John
the cart.
leaves it and
Who's
goes
gonna,
like
what?
he goes
Think
like
people-
6 aisles
you
away,
think
and I'm like,
so
"What are you
do I.
doing?"
What are people going to spit on your food or touch it?
Well, this is
or
how you
what's
get
the
into
problem?
trouble.
What?
So one time, John came back to the cart, or he thought he came back to the cart, and he starts pushing it away, and he gets 3 aisles away before this little Japanese man comes running up and says, "That's my cart." And John looks down, and it's not our cart.
Yeah, but
he took
that's
someone
not-
else's cart.
But that's because he's just absent-minded in the reunification process with the cart.
I think that you leave a lot of things open to chance when you leave the cart.
Well, I'd like to say I'm more on the ball than that. I wasn't
But you
actually.
lost
so
it.
I panicked. I was like, wait a minute. I have absolutely no recall on where this cart is because I went into an altered state trying to get away.
Panic. You
I
were
didn't-
panicking.
Well, I didn't want to have to reconnect with the person that I just had the conversation with at
Yeah,
the
it's
cash
so awkward
register.
to say bye and then
then-
have to bump into them
And
again.
then you're standing with them in the line.
Right.
So I
I
thought, well, I'll
totally
just put a
understand
little like temporal space between us.
Yep.
And
But see, the point
This
of
is-
carts is they have wheels on the bottom because they're meant to go with you wherever you go. That's why they make them with wheels.
thanks for telling me that. I just wasn't quite sure.
Like, I can
what-
see if you've got an over heavy basket and you don't want to lug that around. Doesn't have wheels. That's taking some strength to carry that around.
Look,
so you
I
can
just
leave that.
I could
and-
not get away fast enough. If I had to push the cart or pull the
Was this
cart.
a person with a fruit name?
No, it's a nice person that I like. It was actually not a person with a fruit name.
Okay.
Let's see, what was their name? Okay, it was, I won't. He actually has a name of that relates to gardening.
Wow.
So it's kind of related.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people who connect with fruits, vegetables. And speaking of vegetables,
I haven't eaten like any vegetables.
Speaking
I
of
don't
vegetables,
think this week.
I've been a little low on vegetables, or just I've
Yeah.
been down on vegetables. I'm not sure why.
It's not really a vegetable
just-
time of the year.
I feel kind of guilty being down on
it's kind
vegetables.
of a pasta time of the year.
Well,
And
I've been
cheese.
so into grains. Grains are just my love. Grains have this balanced affect. They don't want to push you one way or the other. They don't want you. They just want this balance of being in between. Like you eat an oat groat, for example, you're gonna just feel like straight ahead. You're not gonna feel to the right, to the left. You're not gonna feel like
Well,
super happy about it. Like if you ate a carrot, you might feel like, oh, I'm so healthy. But if you eat an oat groat, you
it's
just
neutral. It's neutral food is
neutral.
what you're saying.
It is, and it's almost like you didn't eat, but you're full.
Well,
you feel-
all I ate was cheese like all week long, and I don't feel very good about that. Or full. Like I could probably eat some more cheese.
Yeah, because it has addictive qualities. It
I guess it
stimulates
does.
your, what are those things? Endorphins, or what are the other things?
It's the same as hard drugs, whatever it is, but
Yeah.
I know that about myself. But they also were out of my cereal at the grocery store, and I took that opportunity to buy at one of the big box giant BJ's. So I got like a double huge,
Oh God.
like imagine a box that like a television set comes in.
Yeah.
That's what size box my cereal came in.
Yeah.
And I bought Fruit Loops.
No.
I did.
did
The
not.
like straight out, not even the fake organic Fruit Loops that I sometimes buy. They didn't have it, and I just took it as a sign from the gods that they didn't have my healthy normal cereal. I'm just going to buy this TV-sized box of
tell you,
Fruit Loops, and I have been eating them nonstop.
You
since then.
helped me. You helped
Oh my
me
God.
to feel so virtuous. I
Yeah.
feel so virtuous.
You and your
First of all,
oats
that
can
I don't
just-
eat the crap that you eat, and second of all, I feel great. No, stop. I feel great because I like you.
Oh,
I like somebody who
I think
eats that.
you should just try them once. Have you even tried Fruit Loops ever?
I had more Fruit Loops as a child than I probably because they came in those
Oh,
little individualized
yeah.
serving boxes.
We only
that
got
were
those
so
when we went
fun.
camping. My mom did not let us have
Well,
sugary
we would
cereal
get them
ever.
Sometimes we would get the little boxes. They'd come in like in an eight
Yeah.
pack, and you'd take the plastic.
And nobody wanted the Special K. That like had to, because it was assorted, right?
I sort of kind of liked Special K.
Well, I like it now.
That's my nickname. Special K.
I called Kendra that once too. It's so weird to me to have like two close friends that I both call K. I think that's really strange.
Huh.
It's kind of
Something-
and you're not exactly interchangeable, but your names are, which is handy.
That's fine. I'm happy to be associated.
Because you never get that weird awkwardness of like calling your boyfriend by like an old boyfriend's name. With friends, it's better to just give them all the same name and then you don't have to worry about that. I was just thinking of embarrassing moments recently, and I was photographing a wedding once, and I happened to know the bride before, and I knew her when she was with her ex-husband, and during the wedding, while I was photographing the big formal pictures and everyone's staring at me, I called her new husband by her ex-husband's name,
Ooh.
which was so, and everyone just, and it was not a good situation either, so everyone just stared at me, and it was the most awkward,
Yeah.
bad thing ever, and I felt just,
It's no wonder you have insomnia.
I know.
That you can possibly create events like that without even trying. I would have insomnia.
Yeah, that was bad.
I really would.
Anyway, but the point is, you've probably eaten Fruit Loops before, and your childhood eating of Fruit Loops just evens out to my adult eating of Fruit Loops.
Okay. Yeah, people like me, we had lots of bad cereal. We had lots of antibiotics.
We had no bad cereal growing up.
We were damaged. We had like initial damage at an early age.
I'm just getting started on it.
Yeah, so we have a harder time sort of regaining our health. Keith just texted me. He said Keith has a friend, or Tina did. Keith has a friend that calls him Special K.
Whoa.
Wow, that's awesome. So this is
It's like a club. You guys could be a club. There's nothing fun about my name.
Well, that's probably because Mercury is retrograde, squaring off Black Moon Lilith today.
You know what?
We
If we could count up the times that you insisted that Mercury was in retrograde, it would be every single
but
Friday.
it happens all the time.
Then why do we care? Why don't we say,
Because
oh my God, Mercury is not in retrograde, and that can be the event.
my computer died as soon as Mercury went retrograde. Because the
But
really
if it's always in retrograde, shouldn't your computer die when it's not? Like, shouldn't it?
well, this
I
is
just
a
feel-
way longer conversation than we can have today.
Like the majority of the time, it's in retrograde.
Yeah, it's a way, but I'm just going to give you some advice that right now the stars are pressuring us to attain self-mastery. So let's just go with that.
All right, and I just want to say that if you guys are making Easter eggs with your kids this weekend, you know the stupid Pinterest thing that says you can squirt food coloring and shaving cream and roll the eggs all the F around in the shaving cream and they'll be all pretty and marbleized. It does not work. It doesn't work at all.
Okay.
They take like 6 days to dry. Like you stick some shaving cream on an egg and see how long it takes to dry.
Yeah, better to just go buy a cactus.
Yeah. Or just go with the plain old Paz, the regular
Yeah.
egg dye.
Yeah, or do a little pisanki.
I don't know what
You
that
know,
is.
if you're feeling
but-
special, little Ukrainian egg painting.
Oh, is that the wax stuff?
Yeah, it's really
Cool.
fun.
Do we have to go? Is that
Yeah.
why you're starting
Yeah.
to be really squirmy over
I
it?
am. It's like time to go. We gotta
Okay.
we gotta go.
All right.
We gotta go. We don't want to go. I mean, we want to join together with humanity rather than go.
I was wondering if our
They-
local hearse would pick up dead animals because Sorry,
Don't start
I'm
that.
sorry. I just
go.
never mind. I'll leave this conversation. It was a question that I had about cremating animals and
Okay.
people, but I'll leave that for another time.
Pick it up next week.
Even
or
though it's
not,
so
or maybe-
Easter-centric.
Maybe we won't. Well, he has risen. Whoever died.
No, okay,
Undoubtedly,
never mind.
he's-
This is not. I was going to talk about animals because how
Well, I'll
do you
take
get your
this-
large farm animals to the
I'll
crematorium?
take the skin for my pants. Okay, here we go. We're going to go out on a song by Elric Walker called Beneath Green Boughs. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Mountains kneel, the birds they fly, the tide